deafening silence falls over Elm Hollow as every resident simultaneously stops mid-action, their faces frozen in terror, except for 12-year-old Lila, who vanishes mid-choir practice. Mara Whitlock, a new English teacher with a history of sleepwalking, finds herself drawn to the abandoned schoolhouse where Lila last sang, its windows fogged with claw marks. At night, she discovers a sealed basement beneath the building, its door etched with symbols that pulse faintly in her peripheral vision. The town's elderly janitor, Mr. Hargrove, mutters about the hollowing as he sweeps ash from a fireplace that hasn't been used in decades. Mara's student files reveal Lila's birth date coincides with a 1994 storm that swallowed 6 children whole. None recovered. That night, Mara's own childhood journals resurface in her drawer, pages blank save for a single phrase. They never leave. She returns to the school at dawn, the basement door ajar. A musty journal lies inside, its pages written in a language that rearranges itself when she tries to read. The air grows colder, and the walls hum with a low, resonant frequency. As she steps forward, the floorboards creak, then stop mid-sound. A shadow darts at the hallway's end, its shape elongated and too tall. Mara backs out, heart racing, but the door slams shut behind her. By dusk, the town resumes normalcy, residents claiming no memory of Lila's disappearance. Mara finds a classmate, Kai, sketching the same symbols in his notebook, though he swears he's never seen them. At the library, a historian scoffs at her questions about the storm of 1994, then quickly leaves, his coffee spilled and steaming on the table. That night, Mara's sleepwalking returns, her hand tracing the symbols into the air as whispers echo in a language she somehow understands. The basement door opens itself again, revealing a narrow staircase descending into pitch black. A flashlight flickers to life in Mara's pocket, her own hand trembling as it trembles toward the void. At the bottom, a cavern hums with the sound of a choir, the same melody Lila sang. The walls are lined with shelves of empty picture frames, each bearing the same child's face. Lila. A cold breath brushes her neck as the flashlight dies, plunging her into darkness. The next morning, Kai is missing. His sketches are gone, replaced by a single word scrawled in chalk on the desk. Stay. Mara finds the historian dead in his workshop, a symbol carved into his palm. She realizes the storm was a cover-up for a ritual that trapped the disappeared into a liminal space, preserved, waiting. The basement now calls to her at each moon phase, the door unlocked. As she descends once more, the whispers grow louder, and she feels the presence of something vast, ancient, and deeply aware of her return. Mara's hand brushes the first frame, and her vision fractures. A memory surges. Her own face, wide-eyed at age 6, strapped to a chair as a woman in a moth-eaten gown chants the same melody. The air thickens with the scent of burnt sage as the walls dissolve, and she's back in the school basement from 1994, the real one. This basement. The choir crescendos, and the frame's faces shift. Kai, the janitor, the historian, all her. The entity's voice rumbles in her skull. You've always been the key. A shadow detaches from the cavern wall, a woman with Lila's eyes and Mara's hollow cheeks. You never left, she says, her voice a chorus of every missing child. Mara stumbles back, but the stairs vanish. The woman steps closer, revealing a scar on her palm matching the symbol. We're not trapped, she whispers. We're bait. The entity's true form breaches the threshold. A writhing mass of static and teeth, its core pulsing with stolen faces. Mara's flashlight flickers back to life, casting a beam that pushes the creature away. She realizes the device is a relic from her mother, a ritualist who tried to sever the entity's tether decades prior. The woman grabs Mara's wrist, her touch searing. "Run," she hisps. "It wants you to remember." Mara dashes upward, the walls warping, the staircase spiraling into a tunnel lined with mirrors. Each reflection shows a different version of herself. A girl in a red coat, Kai. A grandmother in a nurse's uniform, the janitor. The historian with a chalk-dusted brow. The entity slams into the tunnel, its tendrils shattering glass. Mara grabs a shard and plunges it into her palm. The blood tastes of iron and old whispers. The woman materializes ahead, now whole, now alive, her eyes blazing. "The ritual's incomplete," she says. "You're the final link." Mara's hand glows red-hot, the symbol etching itself into her skin. The entity screeches, its form collapsing into a vortex. The woman's face cracks like porcelain, and Mara sees her own face beneath it. "You tried to forget," the woman says, her voice 1,000 overlapping tones. "But you're the anchor." The tunnel collapses. Mara wakes on the school steps at dawn, blood on her hands, and a name on her lips. Lilas. The town is silent again, but this time the whispers follow her outside. The sun glints off the school's shattered windows, but Mara's palm throbs beneath her sleeve, a red symbol pulsing like a second heartbeat. She stumbles into the basement, the air thick with the scent of antiseptic and old blood. The janitor's voice echoes from the hallway, not his own, but a chorus of hers. "You never left, Mara. You never left." She spins, finding the historian's desk ransacked, a ledger open to a 1932 entry. Anchor. MR, age 7. Ritual interrupted. Her name. Her age when she vanished. The entity's screech cracks the ceiling, sending plaster raining down. Mara scrambles upstairs, the symbol on her hand igniting as she passes the mirror-laden tunnel. Reflections now show the entity's face in every pane, its mouth stretching to scream, "Mara, Mara, Mara," in unison. She slams the school door shut, the town square beyond silent as a tomb. The janitor stands there, her grandmother's face cracked and peeling, holding a rusted key. "The vault," she rasps, "before the ritual finishes." Mara sprints to the town hall, the key turning a door she's passed 1,000 times. Inside, a chamber hums with a black void at its center, a swirling maw of the entity's origin. The ledger's pages flutter open in her hands. Anchor must become the threshold. Her blood drips onto the floor, the symbol glowing. The entity surges forward, tendrils lashing, but Mara slams the ledger shut. "No more," she whispers. The void swallows her scream. When the townsfolk stir at dusk, they find Mara kneeling in the square, her eyes hollow as mirrors. The janitor's smile is a jagged thing as she hums the same lullaby Mara's mother used to sing. The entity's whisper coils in the wind. "You're home." But Mara doesn't move. She never will. The square's lampposts flicker, their light swallowed by shadows that crawl like ink across cobblestones. The janitor's lullaby thickens the air, a syrup of memory and rot, as townsfolk clutch their children, whose eyes glint with faint reflections of the entity's maw. A bakery window cracks, its glass now a portal. The entity's face gnaws at the pane, drooling static. By midnight, the janitor drags Mara's hollow shell to the vault, her cracked fingers tracing the ledger's blood-smudged symbol. Thresholds multiply. The book hisses, pages self-rewriting. The void in the chamber pulses, tendrils coiling around Mara's ankles, and the janitor laughs, a sound like shattering porcelain, as the ground trembles. A boy in the crowd whispers the lullaby. His palms heat, mirrors in nearby shops warping to show his face, split lip and gleaming with the entity's silver teeth. The twist. The ritual never required a single anchor. It needed a chorus.